That beautiful trout right close to home. Let me get this one off and I'll go over what we're doing. And one thing I can tell you we're doing is we aren't burning any fuel today. All right, guys. Staying very close to home today. Catching beautiful specks. And the reason why we can catch them right here in our backyards in these man-made canals is these canals were dug out 30, 40 years ago, and they've been notoriously known for big, beautiful white shrimp coming in here during that late summer, early fall time. And the trout obviously figured that out and they chase them in. And during that time of year, like as Mr. Walter's got one right now, let's let him reel that one in. Nice trout, about the same size as this one. But when the white shrimp come in here, everybody knows, guys, speckled trout, they follow white shrimp. When the white shrimp come in here, the speckled trout, they follow them. I mean, speckled trout, wherever you find the shrimp, that's where the trout are gonna be. It could be in a very crazy place, like right in your backyard where we are right now. And that's the name of the game. Caught that one on the green hornet. See if we can get some more. Get that head shaker. You don't like that green hornet in his mouth. So what we're doing is right here, we're fishing about 10 to 15 foot of water, but I'm not doing what we typically do and use like a 3/8 or a 1/2 ounce jig head and let it get to the bottom. These fish are suspended. The shrimp are suspended. They're chasing them shrimp. So I got it on a lighter jig head, a 1/4 ounce or a 5/16, and I'm just casting it out. I'll show you. I'm casting it out, letting it count it down a couple seconds, and simply just slow rolling it in. Let me show you guys exactly what I'm doing here. All right, so I'm bomb casting it out there, and I'm just gonna let it, you wanna change your counts until you start catching them. So right now I'm doing about a 5 count, and I'm swimming it, just slow rolling it back to the boat. And I'm simply fishing this probably in 5 foot of water is where the bait's at, but it's like 10 to 15 foot here. So when fish are suspended like this, you got to figure out where they are in the water column. And that's what's been working when they're on these shrimp. So what'll happen, oh, hold my tail down. What'll happen is when we have shrimp in the area like we do right now, when they get in a frenzy, the shrimp will come to the surface and the birds will hover down on them, and that's when you really can catch them every cast. You'll see the shrimp skipping on top of the water, but right now the shrimp aren't in a frenzy, the fish aren't in a frenzy, so we're having to really talk them into biting, and this is what's working, is simply slow rolling it back to the boat and not bouncing it on the bottom. If you let it bounce the bottom the whole time, more often than not, you're just gonna catch little 8, 9, 10-inch white trout. So if you want the specks, they're suspended. And you just wanna fish, you can fish them, try some jerk baits. You could try, you know, the TKO under a cork, or maybe just free line it. But this is a very tricky situation whenever they get like this. You gotta try different things and see what's working for you. Go. Slow roll method. Christy ain't used to this. I took her some time to get a feel for slow rolling it like that. She's used to jigging them bridges. Got it down now though. Oh yeah, look that one too. That rainbow flop flip there. Going in high. Felt like I was catching a punt. Beautiful trout. Slow rolling. Pretty one. Well, they're pretty one. Beautiful trout. Like I said, light jig heads, even though the water's deep. And I'm just slow rolling that thing. Catching these pretty trout. These fish will sit, they did the same thing last year. If you look at our YouTube channel around this time frame, you'll see we got the same exact video. Last year they were a little bit more up the canal a little bit. This year they're right in the mouth of it. And once you find them, I mean, they could sit in here 2, 3, 4 weeks, you know. And that, when you start hearing about the people in the canal catching the shrimp with the cast net, that's when we know to start trying the canal for speckled trout. There he is. Slow rolling it in, baby. Slow rolling it in. Whoa, pups. Whoa, pups. So, you see them trollers catching them all the time, just dragging baits. That's basically what we're doing. That's the presentation we're doing, except for we're using the reel to troll the lure in rather than, you know, pulling it behind the boat. Oh, yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Look how dark that fish is. But what happens this time of year, like I said, the shrimp come in. It's not just this canal, so don't get it twisted where you got to come here in that late summer, early fall. All of the bayous on the North Shore. You got Bayou Lacombe, notorious for the shrimp coming in there at the mouth of that this time of year. Bayou Liberty, Bayou Bonfica, great places to fish this time of year, doing the same thing. Eden Isles, Lakeshore Estates, Gohagen's Canal. Those places all do this time of year. So for you folks that want to stay close to home, swim a green hornet like this, there you go. But if you want to take a ride, let's see what Captain Chris is doing right now. I just texted him. He's out in the water. Looked like Lake Bourne to me. He didn't really say where, but I know he took a ride. For you guys that want to take a ride, let's see what Captain Chris is up to and check in on him.
Hey, this is Captain Chris with DockSide TV. We're talking transition periods. We're talking transition periods right now, right? September is a transition month. And generally what will happen is those fish will start moving out of Lake Bourne back towards Lake Pontchartrain, right? They're following the white shrimp. And if you put in the time, you'll know to check the choke points of where those fish are going to start staging up. We're actually sitting in Lake Bourne right now. There's some running around all week, checking a lot of stuff, kind of find a concentration of fish, you know. And as you can see, some of these big, beautiful fish that's starting to show up, right? It's, you know, spring, fall is in the air. We've been using Wrigley's live shrimp to get them started. Once we get them going, we've been throwing that TKO, that lime green TKO from Matrix Shad, and the Tiger Bait from Matrix Shad, you know. So, you know, if you want to get on some fish like that, you know, get on fish like this, then, you know, put in your work, put in the homework or whatever, and you'll end up with a box that looks similar to this. And it doesn't take long. It's probably 9 o'clock in the morning. We probably got 75 beautiful trout right now. We're going to try to go ahead and knock another 25 out. Go ahead and catch our limit and try to get in about 10, 10:30. Till next time, this is Captain Chris, DockSide TV.
Beautiful space. Let me show you one more time. That's what I'm doing. All the way out there. You can let it go all the way to the bottom if you want. You feel it on the bottom. Oh, that one didn't even let me reel it. But anyway, if I let it go to the bottom, I just start cranking it in. That's what they want. And they got 2 boats passing us while we're reeling these in. If they don't stop, I'd be shocked. And I don't blame them. They just watch us catch 2 in a row. But that's it in a nutshell, guys. Staying right close to home, catching beautiful trout, using light goldeneye jig heads, bullseye jig heads, black platinum on our green hornet. Fabulous bait. Catching beautiful specks like this right here. Take grass off of it. Boat's not too clean, but hope you enjoyed this episode. Short and sweet, close to home. Burnt a teaspoon of gas. Use 1 lure. This is efficient fishing right here. Make sure to subscribe to our monthly bait box. Get your hands on some of these smaller jig heads. It's been a while since we've been using smaller jig heads. That's what will be going out in this bait box. Some green hornets. Make sure to subscribe to that. some of our best items out there. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Check us out on the last year's episode doing the exact same thing. And look at these boats though that just passed. 2 fishing boats. Watch this reel both of these trout in. 2 fishing boats. Watch this reel both of these trout in and didn't stop. That's mind blowing to me. But probably ran around, spent $10 in gas. 10 gallons of gas today, and the fish are right there in their backyard. Until next time, guys. Good fishing.